Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to another movie review. Um, in the last movie review that I did, I took a look at Avengers Age of Ultron, which was the recently released sequel that came out to the Avengers. And as I said in that review, I liked Avengers Age of Ultron, although I didn't love it. I had some issues with it. I did find it very entertaining, but I just thought that it was not as good as some of the recent Marvel movies, particularly the first Avengers and Captain America Winter Soldier and Iron Man. But I did enjoy the action, the special effects, the performances, the dialogue. I would say that really any of the issues that I had with that film, I blame Marvel for, not Joss Whedon. I think Joss Whedon really did the best that he could do given the circumstances. Marvel had probably imposed a lot of things on him. I don't think that he was able to deliver the movie that he wanted to, but he certainly, the fact that he even held it together as well as it did, he should really be commended for that. But I just wanted to do a quick review of another superhero sequel, which also dealt with computers and technology. And because it's a popular theme in movies, generally speaking, but Ultron is certainly not the first time that we have seen computers or robots as the bad guy in a superhero movie. And I think you may know which movie I'm talking about, Superman 3. Yes, this is going to be a review of Superman 3, but I will do my best to keep it short. Superman 3 came out in 1983, and it was, of course, the third in the Christopher Reeve series. It was directed by Richard Lester, who, as anyone knows who's familiar with the backstory to the Superman franchise, was responsible for finishing up Superman 2 after the producers kicked out Richard Donner after creative disagreements. And Lester was brought in, and he did a lot of work on Superman 2, and some fans think that he made contributions to Superman 2 that were not needed, not necessary, not wanted. I still thought Superman 2 held together rather well, but Superman 3 was the first movie that Richard Lester directed outright with no, on his own entirely. And the film starred, of course, Christopher Reeve as Clark Kent and Superman, and it also had, bizarrely, not bizarro, bizarrely, had Richard Pryor in a major co-starring role because apparently the producers had seen Richard Pryor on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, and Richard Pryor was talking about how much he loved Superman 2, and he was doing all these movements, and he was reenacting the scenes from the film, and he was joking about how he would like to be in a Superman movie, and the producers misinterpreted that, and they actually cast him in a Superman movie. I don't know what he's doing here in this movie, and I don't think he does either. There's also Annette O'Toole as Lana Lang, one of the highlights of the film. Robert Vaughn as Webster, who's the bad guy of the film. He's kind of like a fill-in for Lex Luthor, basically, because Gene Hackman didn't want to come back after they mistreated Richard Donner. Margot Kidder has a cameo role as Lois Lane, and Mark McClure is back as Jimmy Olsen, although his role is also greatly reduced. I'm trying to think who else is in it. Pamela Stevenson plays the girlfriend of Robert Vaughn's character. And I forgot the name of the woman who plays Robert Vaughn's sister, the one who turns into the robot, but she's in it too. And I'm trying to think who else. I don't know. That's all I can think of right now. I don't really want to go through take the time and trouble to look up the cast and everything. But Superman 3 is not so good. It's a huge step down from Superman 1 and 2. Biggest problem was they focused too much on the comedy. Way too much on the comedy. And I think the inclusion of Richard Pryor is a major reason for that. They tried to have him do all these comedic bits, but none of it was really very funny. He tried to improvise and ad-lib stuff. None of that was really good. There was really just no need for the focus on comedy. And, the movie even opens with a slapstick where, like, all this stupid stuff is happening in Metropolis, and You know, I mean, none of it has any business being in a Superman movie. I mean, none of the jokes are funny. It's like really just an unfunny comedy. And Richard Pryor plays Gus Gorman, who is an original character, not from the comic books. He's this genius computer operator. He can't find work, and then he goes in to enroll in this computer class, and he makes himself rich by breaking into the Webster computers, and then Webster finds out about it. Webster, the Robert Vaughn character, and he offers a job to Richard Pryor and says, "Come work for me." And he's like, "I want to control the coffee supply." He reprograms the weather satellite to create rain and thunderstorms in Colombia. And of course, Superman saves the day. Webster gets mad. How can I beat Superman? And then they say, "Oh, kryptonite." Have the weather satellite trace where Krypton was and come up with the elements for kryptonite. It gets every element except one, which is unknown. So Richard Pryor puts in tar because he's smoking cigarettes, and he looks at the cigarette box, and it says tar on it. So he says, "Oh, I'll put tar in it." And meanwhile, Clark Kent goes back to Smallville to write about his high school reunion. And he reunites with Lana Lang, played by Annette O'Toole. They have a little bit of romantic development there. PG. Superman rescues Lana's kid from a tractor. Superman is invited to get the key to the city, Metropolis. You would think he would already have that by now. Guess he didn't. And that's when Gus Gorman drops the kryptonite on him. He doesn't recognize it as kryptonite. He just looks at it as like a gift, like an artifact or a sculpture. Takes it, and then of course he turns evil. You know, he becomes punk ass Superman, and he does all this stuff around the world, like he blows out the Olympic torch, and he straightens the Leaning Tower of Pisa, etc., etc. And it just gets to and then eventually he helps out Webster, and like he helps Webster get control of the oil by destroying this tanker. He lets all the oil out of the tanker and stuff. There's only one good. There's like 1.5 good things about this movie. 1.5 good things about this movie. The half would be the Lana Lang Clark Kent relationship. I enjoyed watching the two of them, Christopher Reeve and Annette O'Toole. They have good chemistry together, and there's nice scenes between them. The problem, though, is that it doesn't go all the way through, because Lana Lang decides to move to Metropolis, and then she's just like dropped from the story. And then in the end, she gets a job with the Daily Planet. And there was such a missed opportunity. Like, they could have done like a romantic triangle with Lois Lane. Missed opportunity. I mean, they should have had her in the story much earlier. You know, they could have done something there really interesting. The other good idea was, I'd say two halves that make a whole, was Superman fighting himself in the junkyard. That fight was the absolute best thing about this movie, because basically what happens is the kryptonite splits him in half, good Superman versus bad Superman, and he has like this epic, awesome fight in the junkyard, and the evil Superman versus Clark Kent, amazing fight, like by far the best thing about this movie, the most memorable thing about this movie. And then the other good thing was, I guess, the idea, not well executed, but the idea of the supercomputer, and that's where I was talking about the computer. Richard Pryor, for reasons unknown, says that he wants to build this supercomputer that can do anything, quote unquote. Webster says, "Great, what will it do for me?" We never really get an answer to that. I mean, all he does is he just uses it on Superman, and of course there's no tension, because all the stuff and the weapons that the computer fires at Superman disposes of. The only thing he is able to that weakens him, of course, is kryptonite. Yet it's like just the stupidity of plot is like the computer figures out the unknown element of kryptonite, but Gus Gorman, he didn't have it. He couldn't figure it out. It's like inconsistent. So the idea, I think, of the supercomputer versus the Superman Superman versus Super Machine. It would have been better if they had made that supercomputer Brainiac, which is a character from the comic books. So they had the idea of Brainiac in there, and they had the idea of Bizarro, which is the evil Superman in the comics, in there. So it's like these two good ideas, neither one of them fully realized, and just a lot of really stupid, dumb comedy that we didn't need. And ultimately, the movie was a wasted opportunity. It was just not very good. Not very good. And Superman 4 was even worse. So that's my very quick review of Superman 3, one of the earlier superhero movies to involve computers and technology and as a bad guy. So thanks for watching and take care. Bye-bye.